Morning everybody, this is my documentary treatment, and as you know it's about music downloading. First of all, I want to investigate why music downloading is really illegal and like why people take it so negatively, like the consumers. I also want to explore why it has like a damaging impacts on like the society, and that could be, for example, like to do with the music industry, and that's what like my documentary sets to find out. I want to prove that illegally downloading music is actually bad to the environment, but many people wouldn't really see it like this, but this is what I'm actually going to inform them about. The content and the ideas, again, I want to find out why music is downloading illegally is so negative. I'm going to feature elements like, I'm going to feature both elements of legal and illegal downloading music, so basically it's fair, so it's not biased, but it's mainly taking the view of illegal music downloading. And I will get some useful information about why it's so bad and like what can happen, what the consequences are if you do it, because lots of people wanted to see this reflected through the questionnaire. First of all, I want to have an intro to my documentary, because most documentaries have this, and in the intro I wanted to like do different types of hobbies and interests to start it off. So because some people might not be interested in music necessarily, I might have other things that they will actually do, like sports or music or games or anything like that, anything outside of music. I want to do like the history of downloading through a cutaway and have like all the illegal downloading sites that people use. And then I'm going to have Vox Pops in Lakeside Shopping Centre of any race and any gender and any religion. And I'm going to ask them what their opinions are about illegal downloading. I'm going to have an interview from the Apple store, as well as filming there as well, because the manager who owns Apple, I'm sure he's going to know a lot of information about iTunes, because that's a positive downloading site. So that's, as I said before, I'm going to have something positive as well as negative. I'm going to interview an illegal downloader as well, someone who does it illegally, and I'm going to find out more about illegal downloading. And because he works with like a record label, then I'm sure he'll be able to give me lots of information about how it affects the industry, even though he downloads music illegally. And I'm gonna have an interview with a Radio 1 presenter, because the DJ, I'm sure as you know, like play music, he knows his tunes, he doesn't basically buy them, he gets told to play them by the radio station, and because he's a DJ and he plays music that I'm sure will be relevant to a target audience of 16 to 18. Ethnicity, male and female. Well, I want to have, male and female shoppers as well as Vox Pops, so like in Lakeside Shopping Centre. So I want to make it appeal to all ethnicities. The target audience age is 16 to 18, because that's what was reflected in my questionnaire, that most people that download music are 16 to 18. Interests, that's going to be within the intro like I talked about before, which is doing things like sports or games or other things that people do, like socialising. Socioeconomic groups, where there's a range of different jobs and things like that in the studio. Like if I was to go and interview someone in the studio, there's like lots of people doing other jobs, like for example setting up microphones and stuff like that, that will appeal to the socioeconomic group. Gender, male and female, and voiceovers, male and female as well, so it makes it appeal to both female and male. And domestic circumstances, I want when I'm going to interview the illegal downloader, I'm going to have like maybe the mother, like in the film. Number one, it's going to add a bit of humour, and number two, it shows that the person actually lives with their mother rather than by themselves. Key findings, from my focus group, I find out what kind of angle I should take my documentary and like what I should base it on, which is really useful. I got some primary research and some qualitative research from the audience and content research, and that was like, it gave me more of something to do, because they gave me more of an answer. Like basically, they basically gave me an answer and actually explained why, rather than just give me an answer so I don't know what they're talking about. Internet research, quantitative, that helped me find my facts and figures, which was my key findings. And secondary research, like for example, someone said they download music illegally because it doesn't cost money and it's free, and certain artists, they might have like albums and the person might not necessarily like every single song on the album, so they might get a couple from that album and then put it into their own CD, so they have their favourite tunes. Questionnaire, as you know, I constructed a questionnaire. Find out key things like what angle to base my documentary again. And I got some quantitative research as well as some qualitative research. So basically it wasn't just answers that they thought were appropriate, but they get to choose answers as well. Maybe if they don't know how to write like the full answer. And this also helped me with the angle as well. So it really illustrated what angle I should take my documentary, which was really reflective. And here's a couple of examples. Textual analysis, useful conventions. I want to have things like a voiceover, which will be played by someone like Harpreet, because she's like got a really clear voice and she knows what she wants to say. And I think that it's going to appeal more to a female audience if I have like a female voiceover. And I want to have like, I want to do that through a cutaway of like all the sites that are illegal to use. And from this link here is about illegal music downloading, and it has some certain things that I want to use in it. And here's the link to watch it. In terms of technical viability, I'll need a camera, a tripod, a microphone, and props. So for example, props would be like the iMac. When I'm basically in the iMac store, I can use that as a prop. Microphone for the voiceovers and for when I'm talking, when I'm presenting. Tripod, well, we all know what that's for, to keep the camera stable. A dolly, so I can go all around the shop to make the shots and the shots more interesting. So basically not just set in one place, it basically moves around. And the camera. Technical viability again. An iMac for post-production, for editing. Microphone for a voiceover. I'll use the iMovie 7 that we've got right now to edit. A camera to transform the data, and some music on top. Technical viability again, I'll play the following roles. I want to play presenter, I want to do the voiceover as well as Harpreet doing the voiceover, and I'll be the storyboard designer and the running order planner. Other than that, I'm going to need a voiceover for my female, which is Harpreet, that I wanted to use. I haven't asked you yet, but I will do. An assistant, which is someone called Yanni, which I'm sure you guys don't know, and a cameraman called Brian. And he's also going to play the interviewee. What I'm going to do is have his face blacked out so nobody ever knows his true identity. Textual analysis, I thought that it will help my documentary to be more conventional, like have different types of camera shots and cutaways and other conventional stuff. Facts and figures, like in the cutaways during the voiceovers, and also maybe when I'm presenting, hopefully I'll have that during my documentary that will educate the audience in some way. And questionnaires, it's for the consumer's benefit, because they basically gave me loads of answers on what angle I should base it on, and like how much they download music and stuff like that. Practical viability, a DJ called Shawnee B, I want to interview as a Radio 1 presenter. I want to use props such as like, as the picture demonstrates, it has lots of radio stuff and technical, all them kind of, things that I don't know about. But I'm going to have to phone the company to find out if I can actually do this, but in terms of actually getting there, it's not actually going to be a problem to interview my DJ because he's my uncle. And I'm going to ask them, the Radio 1 station, if they actually have any archive footage of any other celebrities and stuff like that I can use, because I'm sure that every young person likes to see videos of like their favourite artists, and these are some of the examples that I've used. I will go into the Lakeside Apple store and I will film in there, as well as get an interview with my manager, who I'm sure knows a lot about Apple. And the good thing is that Apple actually owns iTunes, so I can interview the manager, who will know a lot. I will interview the illegal downloader with a blacked out face, so you don't know his identity. It won't be a problem for me to get to the place because he doesn't live far from me, and he does this quite regularly. In terms of Ofcom, my audience has chosen for me to do a negative side of music downloading, and that this might change the view altogether of all the things that I wanted to do.